made a vow to visit China during his first year as Prime Minister and is fulfilling it by a whisker.
By a whisker refers to either achieving something or avoiding some negative consequence by a very, very small amount. The whisker could refer to a person's whisker, a man's whisker, which is a little hair that comes out of the chin, forming a beard or a mustache. But more so, it refers to animal whiskers, especially cats, where they have these big hairs coming out, and they use that to guide whether they can fit through a small space. So if a cat can go through a space and not catch their whiskers on it, that means they can send their body through as well. So it's wide enough for their body to fit. So by a whisker means that something is barely adequate to accomplish a purpose. For years and years, every time I had to catch a plane, we would be at least half an hour late even before we left the house. And I caught so many planes just by a whisker. Then one time, I missed the plane. I'm going, no, this can't happen to me. I can't miss a plane. I always catch my planes at the last second. So ever since then, I've made a point of getting to the airport at least an hour, if not 2 hours in advance. I also used to drive fast, too. And then one day, this car slammed right in front of me, and I just squeezed through these two cars by a whisker. And I was just so lucky I didn't get into a serious accident. So ever since then, I've been very careful anytime I drive, not to drive too dangerously. You can also say that that you did something or something didn't happen by a hair. Or an even stronger expression is by the skin of your teeth. And as you notice, teeth don't really have any skin. So that's means you barely did it. And usually it's something bad that didn't happen. So you say, I escaped punishment by the skin of my teeth, or by a hair, or by a whisker.
In conversation, Mr. Modi repeatedly emphasizes the scale of his election victory last year. In international affairs, he implies it gives him unusual latitude.
Latitude refers to width of activity that someone is given freedom to do. So if the boss gives the employees wide latitude, it means that he's giving them permission to do their jobs and without looking too much over their shoulder. If they come in late, hey, that's okay. Leave early, that's okay too. As long as they're doing their jobs effectively, other than that. So latitude refers to the width of something. In this case, the breadth, or also called the breadth. So in this case, it's the width of the breadth of activity. And usually it's used in the idea of giving someone wide latitude, meaning a lot of freedom, or very narrow latitude, which means that they're largely just being told what to do and they have to do that, and they don't really have much decision making to do except to obey. Latitude also refers to the east-west distances across the earth, which they show in lines. For example, they call them parallels. So for example, if the 40th parallel would be the measurement of latitude, or the east-west, the line that goes east-west, and actually it's the distance from north to south. So the North Pole is at 90 degrees latitude, and the equator is at 0 degrees latitude. when I first started with the company, my boss gave me very, very wide latitude. But then I started showing up late. I went on these long lunches with clients, and I'd come back drunk, and then I'd get so tired I'd have to leave early. So he told me I didn't deserve the latitude, and now I have to go to his office every morning and tell him what I'm going to do every day, and then he has to tell me whether it's okay or not. So just the way it is. Each of the different branches of government, executive, legislative, and judicial, they have their own sphere of influence, but they also have enough latitude that their powers overlap with the powers of some of the other branches, and this is where a lot of the arguing and the bickering go back and forth, where the different branches are arguing about the areas where they have common powers, where each of the two branches has latitude that affects the other branches. ESL-fullsteamahead.com